I do want to give my bold prediction. I saw that you gave your bold prediction earlier for the Ravens this season, but for my bold prediction for the AFC this year, AFC Championship game, Cleveland Browns versus Buffalo Bills. It's a new NFL. It is a
I don't
new
know if that's a
NFL.
bold prediction or if you've had too much damn whiskey. Like, I don't understand what's going on in that little brain of yours, but something's got to give, you know?
These teams are loaded and ready to go. It's a new NFL.
All right, Nick. Well, we have a lot in store for this weekend with the divisional round of the NFL playoffs right on our doorstep. We are in the midst of playoff football. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of last weekend's games and was able to catch just bits and pieces. And listen, I'm really excited. I haven't gotten to see playoff football in a long time, and now I'm ready to see it. So let's go over the divisional round matchups. We're going to give you our predictions and what we expect from these games. Let's start off with the first game of the weekend, the Rams at the Packers. Nick, why don't you start us off? What is your prediction for this game?
Man, this is a really exciting matchup. I think this is going to be one of the best matchups of the weekend. Do not underestimate this Los Angeles Rams team. They are unbelievable. And if you don't understand, go watch what they did last week. They took on a Seattle offense that is one of the best in the league, and they made them look so bad. They showed a graphic on the screen that said the Seattle defense is the 31st ranked defense against the pass. After that game, I thought they were the 31st ranked passing offense. That's how bad they were. The Seattle offense did absolutely nothing because the Rams defense is the best in the league. They showed up. They're playing lights out right now. Sean McVay is proving why he is such a great head coach. This team, they don't need to have Jared Goff. They have a nine-fingered quarterback winning them football games because this defense is amazing. You don't need Robert Woods to play lights out or Cooper Kupp to have an amazing game. No, they don't have to show up because they have this defense. And guess what? You're about to face a Packer team that has one big weapon. And guess what? Jalen Ramsey gets to lock him down all night long. So this is going to be a much closer matchup than people think. But with that being said, it's still Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to win this game. He's going to do what he has to. The Packers defense is legit. They're going to be able to do enough to stop the Rams. The Rams offense can't do much. It was Cam Akers against Seattle, against a poor run defense. And yes, the Packers have another poor run defense, but they're not as bad. They already saw what Cam Akers can do. They have a great head coach. They're going to figure it out. The Packers are going to edge this one out. It's going to be close, but they're going to pull this one out.
Was that a Nickelodeon graphic that you were referring to?
Oh, man, I wish it was. I wish all of those games were on Nickelodeon. That was wild. That was absolutely wild.
This is honestly probably for me the number one matchup of the weekend. For the divisional round, the Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be a high intensity game from the beginning, the opening whistle, all the way until the final whistle. I mean, it is going to be nonstop, absolute action. Honestly, for me, the Los Angeles Rams are a very dynamic team. They can run the ball, they can pass the ball, they can, pass outside the numbers, inside the numbers. It doesn't, like, they can do whatever it takes to win a football game. On the other side of the ball, the Green Bay Packers rely heavily on Aaron Rodgers, and I think that's going to come back to bite them this time around. Listen, Aaron Jones is a stud, and he's one of those top running backs that we have in this league. But that Rams defense is no joke, and you got that Aaron Donald, in the middle of that defense who's willing to eat anybody who comes near him. He bench presses 600 pounds just for fun. And you don't think he's going to push some offensive linemen around? Please. So I actually have the Rams taking this game. I think that the Rams will upset the Packers this week. I just believe that the matchups are way too potent for the Packers offense. You talked about it. You brought it up. Devontae Adams and Jalen Ramsey is going to be the matchup to watch here. And listen, Devontae Adams will get his. He's going to get his targets, but he's not going to get the yards after catch. He's not going to get the allotted yards that he's going to need to break open big runs and get them down the field. He's going to make Aaron Rodgers dink and dime the ball all the way down the field, and that is not what they do. If you watch tape on Aaron Rodgers, he ends up like getting frustrated and he just has to take a shot at some point, and that's when he's gotten into trouble in the past. Look for the Rams to continue to perplex Aaron Rodgers and this offense, and they're going to make sure that they stop the run, so it's all on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders. Look for time of possession on the offensive side of the ball and a lot of different blitzes coming on the defensive side of the ball for the Rams.
Yeah, I really think if the Packers are going to edge this one out, you're going to be relying heavily on Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Robert Tonyan. I think those are the two guys to really watch out for. Those are the only guys that can get some mismatches against that defense. MVS is a fast wide receiver who's able to get separation. His hands aren't the best, but when he shows up, he shows up. And Robert Tonyan, he's better than advertised. I think that he is a guy that can really stretch the field. He can make some plays for this offense. He's a guy that Aaron Rodgers trusts, and that's hard to come by. So I think that those two guys in particular, if Devontae Adams is locked up as we think he will be, those are the people to be watching out for. It's going to be fun. That's all I have to say. This is going to be fun.
And that's just the first game of the divisional round.
That's how we start this off. Oh, I love playoff football. Oh, this is so great.
And then we shift our focus. It doesn't get any easier. The Baltimore Ravens visiting the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, baby.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Okay? So right now we have Lamar Jackson coming off his first career playoff win, facing off against the Buffalo Bills, who haven't won in the better part of my lifetime. And listen, the Ravens, their defense is no joke. Calais Campbell is here to play. He is here to command this defense. He's the anchor. He is their rock, and they're ready. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to easily win this game, though. That my issue is going to be, can Lamar Jackson actually command this offense to match up with the Stephon Diggs led, passing aerial assault that will ultimately be the demise of the Baltimore Ravens. I just believe that their defense is so predicated on zones and getting to the quarterback where that doesn't really happen. You have one of the most athletically gifted quarterbacks in this league in Josh Allen. He is going to take hits, he's going to bounce off tacklers, he's going to be able to maneuver the pocket and then even escape the pocket when need be. He always looks down the field. He's got the arm to launch it 70 yards in the air without even thinking about it. This man is no joke, and I truly and honestly believe that the Bills are going to have the exact right protocol or game plan in place here for the Baltimore Ravens. Brian Daboll has seen the Ravens before. He knows exactly how to scheme up an offense that will be able to, attack a Harbaugh-led defense. And I think that the Buffalo Bills will move on to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have the Buffalo Bills in this game, but I think it's going to be close. And I believe this is going to be the highest scoring game out of every one this weekend. These defenses are not prepared for these high-powered offenses. These offenses are unbelievable. Who on the Buffalo Bills can stop Lamar Jackson and his running ability? Who can stop Mark Andrews? Who on the Ravens can stop all those receivers? Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, John Brown. They added Kenny Stills, Dawson Knox. You have Devin Singletary in the backfield. They have so much talent. There is too much talent on both offenses for these defenses. It could come down to the last possession. It honestly could. Oh,
I
it's
just don't
this
believe
game.
that the Ravens have the firepower. But listen, if you believe that Mark Andrews is the answer, then all the power to you.
This game is going to come down to who can hold on to the ball the longest, time of possession, and who can not create turnovers. You have to limit turnovers as much as possible. I know Lamar had some mistakes. I know that Josh Allen didn't have the greatest throws. These two teams are coming off of big wins. This is going to be a great game. I think that these two, Lamar and Josh Allen, have so much to prove. This is another huge W for the NFL, for us as fans watching this game. But I'm expecting a show from these quarterbacks.
For sure. And that, again, that is just the first day of the divisional round. Then we have a second day that is going to be filled with even more fun and excitement. And that day starts off with the Cleveland Browns visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Brownies, the guys that were 0-16, the paper bags over their heads. Those Cleveland Browns, they are in the playoffs, and they are now one game away from an AFC title shot. I mean, they are so close they can feel it, all without arguably one of their best players in Odell Beckham Jr. So here we are. Right now, I'm going to start off. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns in this game. Listen, Patrick Mahomes, I think, is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. I'm not going to argue that. This defense, here's my caveat: Denzel Ward needs to play. Joel Bitonio needs to play.
They'll be back.
Kevin Stefanski needs to coach. I mean, these are the stipulations that I have for my pick here. Because if they have to go through another one of these rounds where they're losing key players, they're not going to be able to move on. And they've been struggling with these COVID protocols for weeks on weeks now. This has plagued Cleveland more than it has any other team in the league. So look for the Cleveland Browns to utilize their spark and their fire. They're going to get their full roster back together minus Odell. I think that they have exactly what it takes to take down this Chiefs team. Myles Garrett is going to absolutely dominate this offensive line, and he is going to sack Mahomes at least 3 times.
Wow, that's pretty bold right there. Listen, you all saw that intro. You saw what I projected on September 2nd of 2020. I said I have the Cleveland Browns against the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. But I don't necessarily agree with my own take. I think, listen, I will be rooting 100% for the Cleveland Browns. This is the Cinderella story we've all been waiting to happen. And it's finally here. But I think the Kansas City Chiefs are just too good for them. I think the Cleveland Browns got lucky against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They suffered multiple mistakes in the first round. Listen, if the Steelers had come out of that first quarter only giving up 14 points, the Steelers would have moved on. The Browns defense cannot handle a high-powered offense, let alone Patrick Mahomes, who's a mobile guy, Tyreek Hill, who's one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the league, Travis Kelce, who's arguably the best tight end in the league. And the Chiefs defense is not as bad. Like, I think that the Browns are going to struggle in this one. I just don't see it happening. I think the Chiefs they've been here. All of these guys have been here. They won a Super Bowl last year, and all of them have returned this season. I don't see the Browns being able to pull it off. I'm going to be hoping for it. I just don't expect it. This is going to probably be the most lopsided game of the entire weekend.
Yeah, I think my pick might be a little pie in the sky at the end of the day, but I believe in the Cleveland Browns. I believe in Kevin Stefanski. Listen, he's been in this position before. He knows what it takes to win in this league. The Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield, everybody's written them off, and nobody's giving them a chance in this game. That's exactly when they thrive. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. This is a revenge game for Kareem Hunt. Don't forget. This man is going to want to eat against his former team. If he has a chance to knock Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes out of the playoffs, he will do just that. Look for Kareem Hunt to rush for over 125 yards this game. Nick Chubb will have another 100 yards on the ground, plus maybe another 65 receiving. There's going to be a lot of production from these two running backs. you watch out because the Kansas City Chiefs don't exactly know what's coming their way.
Yeah, you're right. This is it's going to be interesting. It really is. But at the end of the day, I think the veteran experience is going to play a huge factor. I think that Baker Mayfield and the rest of the team is a little too high on their pedestal right now, and I think that they're going to be humbled by the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, and then we finish out divisional weekend by having the third time around Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. That's right, we get Tom Brady versus Drew Brees in what could possibly be Drew Brees' final game in the NFL.
Oh my
Um,
god. Whew.
it's incredible, honestly. You're talking about two of the best to have ever done, the job. And listen, nobody's going to take anything away from this game that the Saints have absolutely obliterated the Buccaneers the first two time around. I'm taking the Buccaneers. Maybe it's the definition of insanity, right? You do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, that's me. I'm here. Listen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It seems to me that they have found their stride right when it has mattered most. Tom Brady has gotten that connection with Antonio Brown working really well. Mike Evans still an absolute monster when it comes to getting the ball in his hands. They're getting that running game going. That offensive line outside of the loss of Alex Kappa, they have been doing a pretty solid job. I think that Tom Brady, listen, there's not another quarterback or player in this league that has more experience in these types of moments than Tom Brady does. So you can't tell me that he's not primed for this situation. On the other side of the ball, you have Devin White coming back. You have, you have all these players that were built around a top five defense over the last couple of years. They're going to come out and they're going to come out heavy. This is the third time around. I fully expect the Buccaneers to not pull any punches. Look for this defense to absolutely swarm Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints offense.
Yeah, this is going to be another wild game. I mean, we're talking about Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. And can Tom Brady retire Drew Brees? I think so. I think so. The Buccaneers have lost twice this season to Drew Brees. Tom Brady has lost twice to the Saints. I just can't see Tom Brady losing in the playoffs to Drew Brees and the Saints for a third time. I just don't see it happening. This offense is finally clicking, like you said. They are finally figuring it out. Antonio Brown is finally into this offense, and Tom Brady has made him a priority. Chris Godwin, yeah, he's not looking so great, but he can turn it on. He can do it. Mike Evans, he's one of the best. He can. Gronk is finally back at full form. This team is unbelievable. Todd Bowles is going to scheme up a defense that's going to be able to handle the Saints. I'm not saying they're going to stop them completely, but I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to prove why they've gone after so many veteran players, because all those players are going to show up for them this weekend against the Saints. Oh man,
Listen, the Buccaneers sold out for this year.
They absolutely did.
This is where they are. This is what they were here for. They made it through the regular season. They got to the dance. Now it's time to show what all of these pieces were put into place for. And I think with the veteran leadership of Bruce Arians and Tom Brady at the helm, you have exactly what you need to be able to take this one to the house and say, you know what, we are going to drive this thing home. We are going to get to that championship that we so deserve.
And as Patriot fans, as seeing Tom Brady over the last 20 years, 21 years in the NFL, we know you never, ever bet against that man, because he will make you pay. If you try to get him riled up, that's the opposite of what you want to do. This man will use anything and everything to feed himself. Go yell at him. He's too old. That feeds him. This man is unbreakable. He is Father Time. He's Mr. Clutch.
Yeah. And listen, I think, after all is said and done, we will have two teams on each side moving on to the championship round, where we will then decide who goes to the Super Bowl. I'm fully excited for this divisional round. These usually provide some of the best games that we get to see throughout the playoffs. I fully expect that a lot of these teams are going to absolutely throw everything they have out there to show, because at the end of the day, if you don't, you could be going home. And next year is not guaranteed for you to get into this spot. You can check out the Jacksonville Jaguars for that anecdote. Um, but with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't hit the notification bell. If you comment on this video, we will be sure to feature your comment in an upcoming video. So make sure to comment and let us know what you think, and let us know who you have moving on to championship weekend. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your day.